Thank you. And you're very welcome, Minister, into the Chamber. And I wish you good luck in your portfolio as Minister. I'd like to welcome the budget. This budget reminds me of Fianna Fáil budgets of the past. And I do believe that it is a budget that Fianna Fáil can be proud of. And it certainly shows that the boys are back in town. And But credit for this budget must go to the people of Ireland, because this is the people of Ireland's budget. It is those people that have, over the last 12 years, who have sacrificed so much in carrying the burden that they did in relation to the crisis that we faced in 2008. And this budget is a budget that they have made themselves. Without them, we couldn't have gone to borrow money in order to invest in our future. So great credit must be given to the working men and working women and the businessmen and businesswomen of our country. There are a couple of things that I want to really welcome. And the first one is the COVID restriction support scheme. Excellent scheme. Looking forward for that to be the application for that to be available next week, and to see what the terms and conditions of that is. I also really want to welcome the Shared Island Fund, the 500 million that you've put in there to strengthen our border communities. And today, my goodness, I think there's 1,500 cases up the north today in relation to COVID. So now more than ever, we really need to be investing in our people as an island. I welcome the 19.2 million for our local government fund. Important to be strengthening our local government, and anything that we can do there that puts the citizen first, I think, is really important. So I'm looking forward to finding out the details of that. There were a couple of misses, and I'm only just going to mention two of them that are important to me. The medical card for the terminally ill. I really would have liked to have seen something like that in this budget this time. We talked about it before with the Minister for Health, and at a time when people are talking about euthanasia in this country, yet we're cribbing about giving those that are dying a medical card. I think really we can do better. I also believe that this was an opportunity to bring back the bereavement grant that we got rid of in December 2013. Many families that have been affected by COVID may not only have one funeral, but they may end up having two funerals within their family. And the cost of funerals is quite significant. But there's one issue that I want to highlight most specifically, and that is the issue of mental health. And I suppose the winter plan seemed to not give that matter due attention. The budget rightly acknowledges the significant stress, anxiety, worry and fear that COVID-19 has brought to the people of this country. Indeed, there has been much talk about the healthcare professionals in this area of a tsunami of mental health issues which is expected to hit in the coming months. The Psychological Society of Ireland has predicted a threefold increase in general mental health difficulties as a direct result of COVID-19, as well as stating that the impact of this is going to be felt for a long period of time. Considering this, while the funding outlined in the budget is welcomed, as in this case with any other funding aimed at mitigating the effects of our mental health crisis, I must point out that it still falls short of what we should be doing. The mental health budget outlined in the budget amounts to 1.2% of the monies made available to the health service as a whole. The World Health Organization recommends that each state dedicate 12% of its health spending to mental health care. While 50 million is no small sum, it is dwarfed by the figure which surrounds it in this budget. Most notably, perhaps, the 1.3 billion fund ring-fenced for COVID-19 measures, when the mental health fallout may prove to be the longest-lasting effect of this virus. The additional pressure associated with the COVID-19 pandemic have uncloaked the underlying tension and fragility that many Irish people live with. Strained social bonds, overstretched families, inadequate childcare provisions, drug and alcohol misuse and financial uncertainty. I don't know how many young people that I know that have lost their lives to suicide during this pandemic alone. And I think anything that we can do to support our young people and those that are affected as a result of the fallout of COVID, I think we need to do better. I have serious doubts as to whether the funding allocated in this budget will be enough to allow the service to attain the goals set out by the Government in this year's mental health policy, Sharing the Vision. Let us not now pursue a frugal course of action in this regard that will result in our saying in years to come, we should have done more. I echo the call of Fiona Coyle of mental health reform. Let's not leave those who need mental health support out in the cold. So thank you, Minister, for listening.